Okay.
It's probably.
Okay. So Bright Sunshine Inn it's your first comedy, I think, and something
Yeah.
like that. It's a sex comedy, and it's often a very funny film. But what struck me about it was that how closely linked the humor and the sadness of the film are. I was wondering if you could talk about how you balanced that sort of mix of tones, or how you achieved that.
It was not very difficult because in that field, looking for true love, it's sometimes funny or ridiculous, and a lot of time very sad, you know.
Yeah.
So the balance was there immediately when we start writing the script.
Okay. Yeah. I mean.
Disaster. I remember I told Christine, I said, you know what? Let's call the film Agony. And then, of course, it's not the title that will, you know. But for me, it was the inside title, Agony.
Mm-hmm.
Agony of love, you know. And
Yeah.
yet, thanks to the word of Christine, thanks to the way I thought maybe let's film the word frankly with their nonsense, it become also funny.
Yeah, because there's a harshness to it, but there's also like a lot of tenderness, and it's all just there, I guess,
Yeah,
built in.
and frankness.
Yeah. There are some scenes, I think, I forgot the particular line, but Xavier Beauvois and Juliette Binoche at the bar, and the camera is just circling around them in this one
Yeah,
very fluid
second
take.
shot.
Yeah, and I thought that was a wonderful scene. It's quite a departure from your previous work. I mean, Les Allowed Bastards was in UCR before, and that film is quite bleak. Did you want to do a comedy afterwards? Was this all?
Not at all, no. No, I was preparing another film. We were delayed, and this producer asked, do you want to make a film in between? And I proposed Christine to work with me because we had been working together before, and it was like short jump, not against the salon in a way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think all the film, I have no I don't fight against my films. Sometimes I think they are not as good as I wish, but they are there. There must be a reason.
Yeah, but it was just a very different from your previous films. So which are more like elliptical, very sensual, and this one is a lot more dialogue driven.
Dialogue was the line. I told Christine, we have no much time, no big budget. Let's do it. Let's film your words. I have already I did a film with Christine before, a short film. The word is going to be our space, our location, and Juliette will be, as Isabelle, a sort of master of ceremony.
Yeah.
So it was not like changing completely, no. I think I'm the very same person, and no. I think maybe Juliette brought a lot of joy in the film, for sure, yeah.
Because she really is the center of the film. Like she's sort of the center out of which you build up, because she has these different men coming, sort of circling around her in different ways. And what I found very interesting was how you sort of build the film up from these very small moments, these very small interactions, kind of like the paintings of at the gallery, right? You have that giant grid. I guess, how did you approach the structure of the film then? Was it already, had Christine written it already?
Block by block, we knew we will start by the love scene, and we knew it will end with the how do you call the spirit? Yeah,
Yeah, the medium, I think. Yeah.
yeah, medium. I don't know. I thought we were building block by block. We were telling a story block by block, not trying to make it a continuity like a month later or two, 2 days after. No. It was block by block, and in the end, we realized it creates a sort of continuity with a character.
So it's more intuitive the way you structured it.
I'm not American, so the word structure. I am always intuitive in my structure. I never try to. It's transitory. A structure is something you need at a certain point, then you have to forget about it, go back to it. It's I hate the structure as a form of narration. I think I like ellipse, I like block, I like moment, and I try to make film with that.
Binoche's character, Isabelle, here, she's a painter, and I'm wondering, and which works wonderfully given how you return to these particular images. There's this one of Binoche facing away from the camera, and just the back of her neck and her shoulders are bare. I'm just curious why you chose that as her profession.
We wanted her to be fragile like artists are, because even if the banker says my work is alienation, you are everything I admire. As an artist, you have to pay a price for this freedom, you know? And to make a living is not an easy thing, so... C'est toi, Juliette, qui fait des bisous? No. And I think, in a way, a writer, no, because Christine is a writer. A filmmaker, no, because it will be too mirror a story. And Juliette is a painter. She was painting already in Léo Carrac's film Les Amants du Pont Neuf. And I asked her, and we took as an example Joan Mitchell, this famous American painter. You see her photograph in the film. Juliette and I like her work very much. So it's like a type of a woman painter, yeah. That was really the model for Isabelle.
You mentioned earlier that in your mind, Agony was the title of the film. And I remember first hearing about the project and hearing it was called Dark Glasses. Did that change very early on, or was were those
because there was this fake news on internet that we were adapting the Roland Barthes fragment of Discours amoureux, and Agony is one of the chapter of. So I didn't know, and you cannot ask a producer to have a film called Agony in his drawer, you know. He would freak out. So I don't know why. Just because deposit the script to I thought, let's call it not Agony but Dark Glasses, as if someone wanted to hide. But for me, it was a fake title.
It's just a fake title?
Oh, it was just for the files.
Okay.
Not for me. It was not the title for me.
How is it working with your longtime director of photography, Agnes Godard, on this film? Well, because it's a very different sort of filming, because you have, for example, that shot with Xavier Beauvois and Juliette Binoche, and that's just one fluid long take, and but you have also these scenes that are just more the camera is just fixed there, which is quite different, I think, from some of your previous work. How different was that?
Number one, we choose this format 1:6:6 to make it more narrower. Number two, we wanted to test this big Sony camera, new, and sort of heavy. You could not move it completely as I used to move with Agnès. So it changed a little bit. To make film inside the car with that camera was not easy. And for me, it was a challenge to accept to be bothered by technique. I had to fight against my own fear of being too heavy with this camera, not too obvious, in that small apartment, we were like...
So just let the material speak for itself, I suppose.
No, I never let the material speak. I have to speak, but suddenly this camera was too big, too demanding. Everyone is looking on screen, So it was not the first time I was working on digital, but it was the first time I was working with such an heavy machine gun.